Everybody, we're going to go over our Forex trades for today, Wednesday, August 13th. Had some action, although pretty much as far as our trading is concerned, we pretty much was trending water today after 5 trades, but we'll go over them. Briefly, just wanted to mention that global economic numbers that came out last night and this morning, not looking good at all. Japan's economy is absolutely collapsing. They had terrible consumer spending. You know, they've been doing basically a QE, what we've been doing here for the most part, devaluing their dollar, so they're seeing inflation. Although the government, the central bank in Japan doesn't admit it, but the consumers are seeing inflation hit their wallets. Jobs are not being created. Wages are not keeping pace. What else? Their GDP for the last quarter contracted 6.8%, absolutely collapsed. Their economy is collapsing at a rate of almost 20% for the next projected for the next year. So it's absolutely collapsing in front of our eyes in Japan. Germany announced terrible numbers last night. The UK had comments on inflation and their jobs. They're saying that the wages aren't keeping up. They claim inflation is still low at 2%, which we all know that's not right. And they're pointing to part-time work as well. And then China had saw a very dismal number when it comes to credit, and it seems to be, from what we're starting to see, and we're starting to see some, that the bubble, it might be popping in China, especially on real estate. Might be starting to pop, and we have to wonder if the real estate market collapses in China, does it send the rest of the world into another deep recession like what happened in 2007 here in the States and in Europe? So it'll be interesting to see. The government of China is trying to do anything possible to prop up their lending. If you've seen that piece on 60 Minutes, I gotta tell you, it doesn't look good as far as China is concerned. But we'll see what that plays out. And then here in the States this morning, here in the States this morning, we had a dismal retail sales number. Missed forecast, came in absolutely flat. There was no change from last month. So, they can't blame it on terrible weather, right? They can't. We haven't had a hurricane. We haven't had snow in the middle of August or middle of July. So I don't know what they're going to blame it on this time. I'm sure it'll come up with something. But let's go over the trades. We had 5 trades, lost 3.6 pips, basically flat. Like I said, trending water. First one you're looking at here is Euro Canadian. We were long this 1.46345. We were close to getting stopped out, but really, we were lower than this, so we didn't. And then on this pop this morning, we just got out. We're basically flat, losing 2.3 pips. Not a big deal. Probably was the right move. I mean, it did go higher after we got out, but has since reversed. Euro Yen trade, we were long this 136.452. This was a layup of a trade. Solid trade, pulled out 43.1 pips. Adjusted for size, that's equal to about 14.2 pips. We wanted to get out before the retail sales numbers if we had the guts to hold it. You see what happens here, it would have popped higher. But what if the number came out good and the euro sold off against us? You'd be staring at looking at 43 pip profit start to dwindle really quickly. So you got to make your decision and get on. Pound the yen, we were short this 171.804. We knew there was news coming out from the UK at 5 a.m. So we're going to hold the position overnight. We're going to set our stops ahead of that, and we got out well. We got out. This is probably around 1:30 in the morning, maybe 1:15. Basically, it takes out these tops. You're gonna take your loss because it's consolidating here, and this thing should either break down and move up prior to the news, several hours prior to the news, and it's exactly what it did. Unfortunately for us, it broke up, and we were short. So we lost 5.9 pips. Not a big deal at all. Ultimately, we were right if you would have withstand this run up. You know, maybe some of you did. You know, we certainly aren't going to take that risk. U.S. dollar Canadian, we were short this 1.09223. It was just buttoned up against a bunch of support here. So, you know, it probably even shouldn't have taken the trade. Pulled out 1.37 pips, not a big deal, basically flat. And then pound to Swiss franc, we were short this 1.52198. Same type of thing as the other one with the British pound. You know, it's consolidating here. It has been against this entire time. Consolidates overnight. You're not gonna be watching it. You gotta say, all right, well, where am I gonna get out of this thing? If it takes out the consolidation, we're out. Unfortunately, that's exactly what it did, just as the other chart we showed you in the pound yen. We lost 40.3 pips, adjusted for size, 13.3. You know, not horrible, not great, obviously. Ultimately, again, right, you know, it did run up if you could have withstand this. And then this is this initially big pop at the 5 o'clock number, and then boom, a hard sell-off. So if you would have withstand it, you could have made a ton of money if you had the guts to hold it. That's not, you know, we weren't going to hold it going in, or if we did, we'd be setting our stops. But this is evident here when you see this consolidation. It's going to go one way or the other. So you got to get, if it's going to go against you, you got to get out, because after a tight consolidation like that, the move could be pretty violent, which it was actually to the upside before it cratered down. Would have been great if it would have consolidated tight and went down first. You know, it would have been a solid trade for us. But it didn't happen that way. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. 5 trades, lost 3.6 pips, not a big deal. But we'll be back tomorrow, assuming we get some action. If you're trading now, good luck. And when signals come out, they'll be coming your way.